Hey guys, it's Annie. Welcome back to my channel.
In today's video, I figured I'd show you how to do Regan from The Exorcist. Or is it Regan? Regan? Regan from The Exorcist. Tell me which one it is in the comments down below. I just watched the movie, and now I can't even remember which way you say it. So yeah, if you guys want to see The Exorcist makeup tutorial, then keep watching. Alright guys, so I already glued down my eyebrows. I have a full tutorial on how I do that, so I'm not gonna waste your time with that. So we're just gonna go right into concealing them. So I actually go over this in that video too, but I'll just do it right now. This is the Ben Nye Death Wheel. This is the back of it. I'm gonna be going in with the center shade there, which is kind of like a ghoulish, fleshy color. Just gonna cover up these brows. Okay, now for powder, I just got this cream all over the top of it, but I'm going in with the Cream Shop. This is their banana powder. So this is a setting powder. And now we're going in with our paint. So I'm gonna use, I think this is their really old style. I think this is the Magic Cake paint by Ben Nye, but it's called Color Cake Makeup. So I hope that this stuff is still good. But this is in the shade Blith Spirit. I feel like this is gonna come out of the pan. Oh, maybe it's not. These kind of paints are super weird. I haven't used this one in such a long time, and I remember not liking it, but then I learned that you needed to use Liquicet with it, so that's what I'm doing today. It apparently just needs like the slightest bit of moisture. So let's see. And this is just a Juno blending sponge. The good thing is we can make this patchy because her skin's really uneven in this movie. It's layered in all kinds of colors. You have some purples in there, some reds. It's supposed to look really like scabby and bruised and gross and infected. So I'm just kind of stippling this on. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight some high points, which seems like it wouldn't make sense because it's not like she's like super contoured or anything like that, but I think this is gonna add some depth. We're gonna see where it goes. So I'm going in with the SFX White Cream Paint. This is by Makeup Revolution. I'm just gonna dab a little bit on my hand here. And then I'm gonna use that same sponge. Just gonna go here, here, maybe a little bit there. I can't believe that I've never done an Exorcist look. It's a classic. We just rewatched it again recently, actually. Oh, that's freaking scary. And for something that was made a long time ago, it really holds up. I also saw an interview of the mom. She was talking about how when she gets like jerked back in one of the scenes, she actually wound up like snapping her back or something. So she has like chronic back pain for the rest of her life. And they didn't even call the hospital right away because they wanted to get the next scene in. I can't even believe that. Anything went though back then. There were like no rules. Okay, since we just used some cream paint, I'm gonna go in with the translucent powder just to set that in place so it doesn't move around. And now we're moving on to my favorite shade for all of October pretty much. This is the NYX Over the Taupe eyeshadow. This is like a super old packaging for them. This is probably moldy. So I'm just gonna go around and stipple. It looks like her face is just very like stipply. It's other colors just all kind of entwined. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, now for the purple, I'm gonna go in with the James Charles palette. This is by Morphe, if you guys didn't know. So I'm basically doing the same thing that I was doing with that other shade, just stippling it. I'm just getting into my nose capillaries here with that same purple. The cool thing about this makeup is that you don't need to be precise at all. Like you pretty much are just making yourself look pretty battered. And once you put on the wig and put some like vomit, everyone knows who you are. All right, now for the eyes, I'm going back in with that taupe shade. Pretty much just smoking out my entire eyelid and then underneath as well. I think this is gonna be as dark as I make the eyes. I don't want them to look like unnatural. So now I'm just gonna go in with the lining. So I'm gonna be going, I just said so like a million times. I'm gonna be using the black from the palette, and then I'm gonna go under and give myself some creases. She has so many eye creases. I'm gonna do her mouth creases. In here, she has, what is this called? Like the mouth folds. Those are really prominent. And she has like those angry expression lines. So let's get into it. I'm going in a little harsh with these lines, but we're gonna blend them out in a little bit. So don't get discouraged by that. Okay, so I actually am gonna deepen up my eyes a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with the Nightingale palette in the After Midnight shade. Normally I wouldn't be using this many palettes because I want this to be more of an achievable look. But I mean, honestly, you could probably just use this Nightingale palette for everything. You don't need all these other eyeshadow palettes. So to make this a little bit more realistic, I'm gonna go in and add some highlight because this is looking a little flat right now. Okay, so I'm going in with the Mehron not Paradise palette. I'm so used to saying that because it's like the only paint I use. But this is the Mehron Highlight Pro Cool palette. And I'm going in with this one. In most looks, I typically steer away from doing like an actual like metallic-y highlight because it looks unnatural. But for some reason, I feel like it's gonna look good for this. So I'm just gonna go in between a lot of these creases and just kind of pop them out, make it look like my skin's like a really uneven texture. We're just gonna do it up. Alright guys, now we're getting into the cuts, so I'm gonna use liquid latex for that. More specifically, this is the Ben Nye liquid latex. I'm just gonna take this little Q-tip, and I obviously just have a reference photo pulled up like I've been using this whole time. So I'm just gonna follow where her cuts are. And I'm dabbing this on a little thick so that when it dries, it's gonna be a little bit like raised, it's not gonna be flat. And you can just layer over these a few times, guys, so wait for a layer to dry and then go back over it. This is just gonna build some volume. You can always add paper towels or toilet paper on top of it if you want. For me, I don't know if I'm gonna go for that effect today because I don't want it to look like really bulky. I just want it to look a little raised. And once these dry, you can kind of manipulate them to make it look like it's a little bit deeper. All right, and now we're going over the liquid latex using that same blending sponge, and I'm just going over this with like a mixture of white and gray. Because we want to get rid of that beige coloring on here. Make it more cool toned. And we want these to look raised, that's why we're going with a lighter color. Okay, so now that these are covered, you can kind of go in with your nail and pick up pieces of it. If you just pull away at it a little bit, see, just like that, it creates that textured look and shows that these are supposed to be raised areas and scabby. So you don't want to go too crazy with it, just gently tug at it just to bring up the corners. All right, now that we have that done, we're gonna go in and make the cuts. So I'm just using a black eyeshadow for this. And I'm kind of just drawing a line in the center of those marks. So this just gives you the illusion that the cut is deeper and the skin is peeling away from it. Like as if you like had like a deep cut. Does that make sense? Now that we have the lines laid down, we're gonna go in with some fake blood. Right, I'm gonna go in with this one by Makeup Revolution. And I'm pretty much just going over that black line. I always like going in with the black first before putting fake blood over it because it gives the illusion that the cut is deeper by giving that underlying color in there. So for the vomit, I'm gonna be doing the 2 shades of green in the James Charles palette, and I'm just gonna be spreading it out. Maybe I'll mix some cream paint in there to make it look wet. So I'm just adding this around my mouth and then dripping it down my neck here. I'm going in with a little bit of black just to line underneath the lip here, because it's really like defined in like pretty much all the pictures that I'm seeing. And then I'm also mixing in some black within the green just to give it some depth. And then it looks like she has black all in here. I'm adding in a little bit of that highlighter. So I decided not to do the cream paint. I feel like that could be just really messy. And if you're gonna wear this out, you don't wanna have to worry about cream paint. You want something that's already set, so it's not wiping on anybody or getting all over your stuff. This is so gross. All right, now I'm gonna add in some contacts. I think I'm gonna go for like a light blue. There are a bunch you could do. You can even do yellow contacts if you want. It seems like those would be a good choice. Even if you have like just a regular blue, or if you have blue eyes, just leave your blue eyes. I have green, so they're looking a little dark right now. So I definitely wanna lighten those up. All right guys, so these are the contacts. I also popped on this shirt because I don't have, like, she's seen in like that white like nightgown. I'll probably edit this white for the photo. But honestly, I would go to like Kohl's or even on Amazon, just get like an old lady's nightgown. I feel like that's the style right there. All right, now let's pop on this wig. So I actually got this wig, I think it was like 2 years ago on Amazon, for when I did Annabelle. And then I just cut cut the bangs a little bit shorter. But I think that this will be perfect for this look. Now I need to find a wig cap. Oh, by the way, these contacts are the Polar Lights Gray from TTDI, just in case you guys are wondering. You can also add a little bit of like nicotine mouth. This is from the Birch, but this is like a tobacco stain. Ugh. And you can also use some black too. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you wear this out for Halloween? I honestly think you get so many points if you do something scary. But yeah, give the video a like if you liked it. That really helps me out. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.